Elon Musk and NASA's new discovery on Neptune changes everything. This new terrifying Neptune discovery was made by Elon Musk and NASA when the Soviet Union launched the world's first artificial satellite in 1957. The space age exploded. Since then, humankind has vigorously investigated our cosmic backyard. But two planets have slipped through the cracks of planetary probes. Neptune is one of them. Now sit tight, because NASA and Elon Musk have uncovered something terrible and unusual on Neptune that will completely blow your mind. In this video, we'll look at how the JWST can use methane to locate alien life. So keep watching to the very end. Hello everyone, welcome to Space Discoveries. Subscribe to the channel for every single detail about the discoveries in the vastness of the space. Also, do not forget to hit that bell icon for new updates. Having said that, let's get started. Beyond the asteroid belt, Neptune belongs to the class of planets known as gas giants. Neptune is impossible to see with the naked eye. So how did astronomers find it? Have any Neptune missions taken place? Is NASA planning a trip to Neptune anytime soon? Isn't it amazing how many questions there are? Since the first humans set foot on the moon half a century ago, NASA has begun to push the limits of knowledge in order to fulfill the promises of American incentiveness and dominance in space. And NASA will keep working on it. Not just on the moon, but also on other unknown worlds. NASA has a lengthy history of space exploration, which no one can deny. To mention a few accomplishments, the space agency has launched rovers on Mars, sampled Jupiter's atmosphere, investigated Saturn and Mercury, and even placed humans on the moon. And don't forget about NASA's twin probes, each carrying 10 instruments, which revealed a plethora of fresh information about interplanetary space, particularly Neptune. Let's have a look at these twin probes before we go to Neptune. Voyager 1 was the first of two spacecraft deployed from Kennedy Space Center in 1977 to reach Jupiter. The mission of Voyager 1 was to gather data about Jupiter's and Saturn's environment, cores, satellites, and magnetosphere. Around 32,000 images of Jupiter, Saturn, and their moons and rings were taken by Voyager 1. Voyager 1 was quiet after its mission ended until its sensors were rolled back on in the 1990s to take photographs of our planetary system. Voyager 2 was launched before Voyager 1. The Voyager 2 spacecraft launched on August 20th, 1977, and the Voyager 1 spacecraft launched 2 weeks later, on September 5. The two spaceships have been moving at different speeds and on different flight courses since then. However, because Voyager 2's goals were the same as Voyager 1, it was granted permission to continue its operation on Uranus, Neptune, and even beyond. NASA permitted the fabrication of two golden records to be installed on board the spacecraft, recognizing that the Voyagers might possibly fly all the way to intergalactic space. In the case extraterrestrials come across the spacecraft and wondered where they came from, the 12-inch wide, 30-centimeter gold-plated copper discs would also include illustrations displaying how to control them and the movement of the sun among nearby celestial objects, a type of fast-spinning, spectacular corpse known as a neutron star. The Voyager 2 spacecraft was the first human-made entity to sail past Uranus. The closest of Voyager 2's 4 flybys was on August 25th, 1989, at 3:56 UT, when it sailed about 2,980 miles, 4,800 kilometers over the cloud tops of Neptune, capping a 4.3 billion mile, 7 billion kilometer voyage. At the time, all of its 10 instruments were operational. The spacecraft detected 6 additional moons: Proteus, Larissa, Despina, Galatea, Thalassa, and Nide, and 4 new rings during the flyby. With winds of 680 miles, 1,100 kilometers per hour, the planet was discovered to be more vigorous than previously thought. Although copious methane gave the planet its blue hue, hydrogen was discovered to be the most frequent atmospheric element. But that wasn't all. The photos recorded by Voyager 2 both astonished and alarmed scientists. How? The smaller dark spot, the supermassive black spot, and Scooter, 3 key features in the celestial clouds, were revealed in detail by images. You've probably heard of the Great Red Spot. It's Jupiter's most iconic feature, and the solar system's largest storm. Yet it has been declining in intensity for decades, for causes that are still unknown. When scientists noticed a matching great dark spot on Neptune, they were fascinated. Isn't it crazy? But what lies ahead will keep your eyes peeled, since scientists have been monitoring Neptune with the Great Hubble Space Telescope since the black area was discovered and have observed additional storms emerge. The new Hubble Space Telescope focused on the blue planet in 1995. However, the location had inexplicably vanished at that time. It could have evaporated towards the equatorial, but researchers aren't sure how. Hubble discovered another black spot later that year, but it's difficult to tell because Neptune's photo resolution is so low at this distance between the Earth. This, however, was not the case. Neptune is endowed with far more strangeness than scientists had anticipated. Neptune was supposed to be a dull, undecorated world in deep freeze, according to astronomers. Voyager, on the other hand, discovered a tumultuous environment with lightweight cloud ripples and furious storms. Surprisingly, Neptune has the quickest winds ever reported in the solar system, gusting up to 1,300 miles, 2,100 kilometers per hour. The core heat of Neptune, which is likely hotter than Uranus, appears to be driving this weather activity. Scientists have been awakened by the same question. Uranus and Neptune are appropriately referred to as ice giants. The planets orbit the Sun at such a huge distance from it and receive so little heat from it that their typical temperatures changes are thousands of degrees below zero. The minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 162 degrees Celsius temperature difference between Neptune's substantial core heat source and its freezing cloud tops could generate disturbances in the environment that influence large-scale weather changes, NASA officials warned. It is generated by a planet that generates more radiation than it absorbs. Everyone is aware of this. The farther you get from the Sun, the colder it gets in the upper atmosphere of planets like Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. Neptune, on the other hand, is just as hot as Uranus. The source of this excess heat remains a mystery. Scientist Brian Cox said in his BBC documentary, The Planets. But does this suggest we're dealing with a two puzzle, and may one enigma help clarify the other? Typical planetary heat sources, such as remaining internal heat from formation and radioactive element decay, could perhaps account for Neptune's temperature, Hamill added. Perhaps Neptune is normal and Uranus is strange. It's possible that Uranus is unusually frigid, says the astronomer. There's an endless number of assumptions and queries that haven't been answered. And as far as we know, there is only one individual who has the courage and opportunity to locate what they are. You may have figured out where we're going. Elon Musk is who you're looking for. There are usually more unanswered questions for scientists, and they always have a lot more operations they would like to fly than money to do them. Some planetary scientists are starting to believe that SpaceX's new Starship rocket, with its unparalleled life potential and possibly paradigm-shattering reduced costs, could usher in a new era of exploration in the solar system. NASA, on the other hand, could deploy a stockpile of research payloads the length of a single-story uninhabited house with Starship, Heldman remarked. You can truly take advantage of the Starship structure and get to the outer solar system in ways we haven't dreamed of previously. It has the potential to be a game-changing new manner of exploring these worlds. Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, sees Starship as a critical rocket for getting humans to Mars and eventually establishing a self-sustaining civilization there. However, such a vehicle would have a plethora of other applications in science, exploration, and defense. How do you feel about this? We are eagerly anticipating SpaceX's commitment to space exploration. Will they find signs of life on Neptune? When will NASA reach Neptune? Will Neptune contain an atmosphere similar to Earth? Let's wait and watch. Having said that, that's it for now. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, then don't forget to press that thumbs up button and also that hot red subscribe button as well. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace.